Hello there, beautiful! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Davina Shefet. I'm a painter, singer-songwriter, former fashion designer. Over here, I talk about art, design, style, culture. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how you start collecting art. Maybe you're already collecting art and you need some tips, you aren't sure about the way that you're going about it. These tips could be useful. First things first, why do you want to collect art? Are you looking to invest in something? Is art a passion of yours? Do you like beauty with the big B? I would say that these tips and the collector that I'm talking to is a person who loves art, who probably wants to live with the art, and if it ends up being a good investment, then great. If not, well, it's not that bad, because that is not the main reason. Investing in art is a whole other thing, and this is not what I'm talking about in this video.
However, the tips that I'm giving you in this video will help you to know if you're overpaying. And in something as subjective as art, it can be very tricky to know if you're overpaying or not. So these tips will help you on that side of things as well, but it's not going to teach you how to invest in art and make tons of money from it.
So let's start. The first thing you want to do is to develop your taste. I don't want you to just go on Pinterest or Instagram and just scroll down and think, oh, I like this, just yet. You first need to have a better understanding of art in general. The ideal here would be books about art history. Or even take a class. I'm sure there's classes online that you can take, and it's fascinating. If you're going to collect art, I can only believe that it's a subject that interests you. I can recommend the Gombrich, I don't know how to pronounce it in English. I'm gonna write it down. It's the standard manual that we all read in art school. And I think, yeah, it's quite big, but honestly, it's a very easy read. He goes through the big ideas in each movement. If you read even the half of that book, I think you will already know more than a lot of art collectors. And it'll make you sound smarter than you are. You're welcome. And it will really help you to understand the references in what you're looking at. Also, you want to look at a lot of art. So let's say you go through an art history class, and while going through that, you discover, oh my gosh, I am super interested in modern art. Then you niche down on modern art and you start going to exhibitions, going to museums, purchasing books. You start niching down on what appeals to you. I just don't want you to start niching down too fast. Try and first have a look at different things, because there are so many things that we never hear about, and they are so interesting. For me as an artist, I always discover new artists and movements, and they're often not the ones that get the most light shine upon them. So try and find the thing that really speaks to you. That is my second point. Developing your taste and being in tune with your sensitivity. Here's the thing. What you want to develop with your taste and what is appealing to you, you want to create your own aesthetic. You want to curate the pieces that you like so that they create an ensemble that represents you, represents a mood that you would want to live in. That's the idea. Basically, before you start purchasing art, you need to know how to look at art, what you like. Is your imagination running wild, looking at the piece? By sharpening your knowledge about art in general, you will start liking things that you didn't think you would like. Stop everything. Did you hit the like button? Did you comment? Did you subscribe? Come on. So how do you actually start collecting, purchasing art? Now that you've developed your taste a bit more, that you know what you like, and you can tell whether it's good or bad. I know that these are bad words to use, but it's true, like there is such a thing as bad art. There is such a thing as bad taste. Even though art is very subjective, I believe that you should trust your eye once you've developed your eye. See what I mean? Okay, so how do you actually find the art that you want to purchase? So there are several ways to go about this. I'm first of all going to talk about finding artists yourself.
I personally think that it is the best way to discover new talent, new works, and it's most probably gonna be cheaper than going for a gallery.
But how do you find those artists? So different ways. Instagram, social media in general, YouTube, even Twitter. Genevieve Figgis, who is a huge artist now, she had her beginnings on Twitter. So social media, magazines, blogs, you want to find the tastemakers in the style that you enjoy.
The jealous creator.
It could be high fructose, Artnet, Colossal, Artsy, boom! Also, you can look at galleries and the artists that they feature. Here's a little trick. On Instagram, galleries often have their open calls. I don't actually think this is my theory, but I don't actually believe that they really pick out their artists from these open calls. I think it's mostly just to gain a good promo for their own gallery, because like suddenly the hashtag blah 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 open call is used all over Instagram. Anyways, this to say that way you can find tons of new artists. Also in art school exhibitions. Only at the exhibitions at the end of the year though. Don't just go and turn up at the art school and ask to see the students' work. Like, no.
I'm lazy. I don't have time for all of this. I don't have time for all of this. Sound of the excuses. Can't I just buy through an art gallery?
All of these can be very useful because they are doing the part of finding the artists, doing the curation for you. If you believe that this gallery has a good record, they are established, they've been in business for quite some time, their artists have long-term careers, they might work sometimes with institutions, they might participate in bigger art fairs, and they might have been on big projects, then you can most definitely trust their taste. They are doing the job of finding the artists for you.
Not so fast, little one.
There are some pros and cons with this. It takes less time. You find free galleries you like, you look at their inventory, you go at the shows, you'll find something that you like. Another pro is that from one place you can buy multiple artists.
It can also be easier sometimes to purchase the pieces because galleries are
Shops.
and some artists maybe don't have the logistics, maybe they haven't figured out how to send their pieces, or maybe they just don't have a shop or online storefront, or they cannot receive payments. Some artists are
more tech savvy than others. First of all, that's the main con. It can and most surely will be more expensive because they need to take a cut. Sometimes there can even be two cuts. Like if an art consultant refers to a gallery, the art consultant will take a cut, the art gallery will take another. I'm not saying that it changes the price because it should not. And artists should sell their paintings at the same price as when they sell through galleries. However, this is mostly not practice. It's something that should be done in theory, but artists do not do this. And honestly, the reasons are very rational. Artists typically do not have a marketing budget like a gallery. They don't have to pay as much in rent as a gallery does. They don't have all of the costs of throwing a show and all of these things. These things take the price up. If the artists don't have those things, of course they have other costs, they have the studio, but these costs are already in the pricing of the piece. So yeah, of course the painting is less expensive. So you're probably going to pay a lot more for a gallery, sometimes even double price. Another con, you don't have the personal relationship with the artist, you have a relationship with the gallery. If you are serious about collecting art, you should follow the artist that you buy. You should follow their journey, you should follow how their art evolves. You should consider yourself almost as a Patreon.
I am the moderne Médicis.
you're supporting the artist. It means a lot. When you buy through a gallery, you're supporting the gallery first. Of course, you're supporting the artist as well, but you're supporting the gallery first. You don't have a personal relationship with the artist. Meaning, you will not see the artist's studio. You will not be able to see new pieces before other people do. You will be limited to only seeing and being able to purchase the curation of the gallery, and maybe there would be other pieces from that artist that you would actually like better. Also, you won't be invited to private events, studio showings, because the artists do not know the buyers of their work when it goes through a gallery. I sell through a gallery in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I have no idea who these customers are because they are not my customers, they are the gallery's customers. However, my collectors, the ones who buy from my storefront, and now I've opened my own gallery in Brighton, so those ones as well. I know those people on a first name basis. I remember what they bought. We talk about how they can pair different artworks, what frames they want to use, conservation. I often also give a better price to a collector who have bought from me before. They also get gifts.
Do you want an art print? Just take the art print.
Because I know the collectors and that is my way of doing business.
The scarf. I'm gonna put the scarf in for you.
Every artist has their own way. But I've heard of many artists that actually did the same as me.
It's a pillow. Do you want the pillow?
They would rather just sell directly to the collectors, have a relationship directly with them, give them a better price.
Huh? What do we think about this one? Wait.
Because it feels more organic. It's nice to have a face on who's buying your art when you've worked on it for so long in the studio. So yeah, pros and cons, buying through galleries, art consultants, and buying directly from the artists. When I talk about galleries, I also mean marketplaces online. It's the same thing. If you are going to buy online, honestly, look at the name of the artist and then check them out on Instagram. They probably sell their own stuff through a Shopify or through Etsy. It's probably gonna be less expensive and the artist is going to get more of that money. The last most commonly used way of discovering artists and just art in general and buying it is through art fairs. Two types of art fairs: gallery curated, artist curated. I do not like artist curated art fairs because usually, even when the fairs pretend that it's super selective and blah blah blah, it's not. They're just there to make their money, and the stands is usually tiny and you have to overfill that space. Also, you can just put your own prices, I believe, on most of those art fairs, and there's this pressure thing of if everyone is pricing low, then you feel like you should price low as well, but it just doesn't make sense. And also, some people are way overpriced. Some people who do art fairs, they're just like starting their journey painting. I don't think that it motivates serious artists to go through that.
We get it. You don't like art fairs.
Now, art fairs that are curated by galleries. I actually really like these. I love browsing to have a kind of an idea of what are the trends in contemporary art. It's a very good indicator of what's coming, what is the mood of art in general. You will discover artists, and basically why I like those better is because the galleries that are doing these fairs spend huge amounts of money. So they are really showing what is, in their expert opinion, the best of the best. There is a staple behind it. It's not like everyone can just come and put their stuff, and there's very good things and then very low quality things. I want to look at their records. How long have they been painting for, or how long has the gallery existed? What is the press? What have they been in media? Have they won a prize? Have they been shown, in magazines, books? What are people saying about their work? Do they have a coffee table book? That means a lot as well, that a publisher would go behind an artist's work to publish it. Do they actually have gallery representation? It's not every artist who wants to go through that. You can definitely not do that many shows through other people and organize your own things. Then you should have some press, or you should have a strong social media presence. All of those things are important. All of these clues show you that the artist is serious about his practice. He's not just, most probably not just going to stop painting tomorrow. It also affirms your tastes. What is their notoriety? At what stage are they in their career? Have they been painting for 15 years, or did they just start? Do they sell a lot? I would try to figure that out. Are they interesting? Do they have an interesting profile that's going to set them apart?
There are so many ways that an artist could be interesting. If they have something that sets them apart, they have a way better chance at pursuing this career long term and actually getting value and value and value. You also want to check, did their price suddenly change? Did their price suddenly drop, or did their prices suddenly hit? Because again, it just shows that the artist is serious or is not serious. And that is all quite important when you're purchasing an expensive piece.
I just want to put in a word here about art school. I've heard so many times that art school doesn't matter. If it's a very good art school, I personally think that it's a good point, that it's something that's good to have. It's good to know that they have developed inside of art history and art knowledge in general. They are not just doing this blindly because they think it looks good. You know, there's most probably something deeper in their way of making art. There's a statement. I'm not saying that you need to go to art school to have that. Some artists are totally self-taught, like so many artists throughout history. I'm just thinking of Basquiat now. And they have all of that and way more. So I'm not saying that it's always true at all. But I'm just saying I see it as a plus. I just see it as a plus. Let's talk about pricing. How do you know if it's overpriced or not? Here's the thing. In art, the artist makes up the price so much. And it's more the artist, the record, and how it is supported or not that makes the price. And of course, demand. My last piece of advice is to simply buy art because you like it, because it creates an emotion in you, because it's interesting, because it's mysterious, because it tells a story. Buy art because you love it.